Is this the girl whose life screams life isn't possible?
Yeah, I think so.
Hello, Lacey. How you doing?
Hey, good. How are you?
Good, good. So I guess you got to be pretty excited. Like, the time has finally come. The album is out.
I'm excited. Are you excited?
I'm excited. You could sound a little more excited.
I'm excited.
You know, it's funny too. Like going through and like watching interviews of you and all. You have like you sound like this real quiet, soft-spoken, little angelic person, and then this voice comes out of you. Like, where did that come from?
Watch out for those quiet ones, right?
So, all right. So the new album. What's that?
Yep. The new album.
Life Screams. So what is it screaming for?
Well, you know, the concept of the title track, Life Screams, really is that everywhere we go, if we pay attention, life is always speaking to us in one way or another, and we can always learn from what's going on around us, and we can always grow in one way or another. And I think that we miss out on that because we're just busy living in the past or trying to get to the future, and then once we get there, we're trying to get to the next place, and we just miss life in the middle, you know. And I think that's the whole point of the album, is just to get you to capture the present and the moment that you're in and appreciate it for what it is, and to learn and grow. And I think me having kids really taught me to do that in a new way as well.
It really, I mean, it sounds like this whole album has almost been like a whole life lessons for you as well.
Yeah, you know, I went through a whole lot in the past 4 years as far as finding my own soul health and learning who I am apart from what everyone else expects me to be. So
right.
It was really a journey in that.
Do you think between writing this album and writing the book, The Reason, it was like really helping you find that peace that you needed, or helping you answer questions in life?
Yeah, it wasn't obvious that I needed to sort through a lot of the stuff I wrote about in my first book, The Reason, when I was talking about my childhood and my relationship with my mom, and just the remembering what the causes were in my journey to atheism and hatred towards people and towards myself, and suicide and depression, and to see what I actually blamed things on, and actually see what really the causes were, was enlightening, and it was relieving too. I know, you know, when we're growing up in our parents' house, we can put a lot of weight on our family that is really self-centered in a way. We don't recognize that our parents are human beings that are struggling in their own way, to have
right.
fears and strife in their own heart, and they're just trying to be the strong person and hold together and still be in charge, you know, and they're not necessarily showing you all their weakness. I mean, in my situation, it wasn't that way. My mom didn't.
Right.
I didn't realize, you know, she was going through so much to the fullness of that until I wrote about it. And I'm like, gosh, I can't imagine, especially as a mom now, I can't imagine going through all the things she went through. And I don't know if I would have done anything any different. You know, not even though it was really hurtful, a lot of stuff growing up. I don't blame her, you know, hell. So
right.
That was really healing for on a lot of levels, because you feel when you have that offense towards your parents, you can feel like unloved, and wrestle with identity in a lot of ways. But then you realize, I realized later on, it wasn't that I wasn't unloved. It was just that things were hard. It was just hard, circumstantially.
Sure.
We just had a lot of crap going on.
It's kind of weird because I kind of went through some stuff too in my life, and I've gone through the depression thing, the suicide whole thing like that, and all. And I'm even in therapy, and I talk about it on the show all the time. I'm in therapy, and one of the things that I've gone through in therapy is really learning exactly what you just said, like about like what my mom, because like my father died when I was real young, so like what my mom was going through, and now that I'm like getting older, and I'm picturing my mom like, wow, like when she was this age, like what she was going through, and it puts it in a whole new perspective now as we're hitting those ages and we're becoming parents. It just gives you a true different spin on everything that our parents went through.
Yeah, gosh. My mom's like a superhero in my mind now. Golly, how'd you do that? I mean, and she didn't do things perfect, but my mom was a teen mom. I mean, she was 15 when she had my brother, 16 when she had me. And
wow.
She just, and what did she, I don't know, she's just surviving. I'm like, well, there's a God if we survived all of this. I don't know.
So, all right, so the album, I mean, it was released, it hit #1. That's got to be pretty exciting, too. Were you shocked?
Well, that was amazing. I mean, it's what the greatest part about all of this new cycle of everything we're doing is that it's just so fun and it's so freeing and there's no pressure on any level. It just feels like we're doing what we love, and if people love it, that's amazing. But if they don't, that's okay because we did what we loved, and that's different about this. There's no pressure. Our record label before with Flyleaf, they were really amazing at what they did. But there's an intimidation on our side that was just like, oh, we got to make sure we make them happy,
Right, right.
And so it took an element of being able to be ourselves out of it completely. We were ourselves, but mostly most of the time we were trying to figure out what makes them happy and how to do what all the smart people say we should do, But this time we're just like, hey, if we're not smart, that's okay. We're just having fun. And so if it works, awesome. If it don't work, that's okay. And it's different too, coming at it from the perspective of being married and having kids, because I'm happy, here. I don't need this to define me, really. But if it catches on and it helps somebody, that's awesome. So hopefully it will.
I mean, as you just said right there, like if it helps somebody, you've kind of almost like with this album and really speaking out about things you've gone through, you've become like an inspirational person.
Mm-hmm. Well, I hope so. I hope that after all whatever the opposite of inspiration is that I've been through, I hope that there's something that people will take from it that makes it less, there's less vanity in it all. You can help somebody not have to go through or feel not alone or whatever. So, okay.
Now, when you left Flyleaf, I mean, you were really going through a lot of stuff and all. Did you, was it even in your sights about doing solo music at that point?
Never, no. I would never have imagined I would do this with children. There was some talk about doing a kids album where I'm like writing songs with my little infant, while I'm washing the dishes, wash, and the dishes ready for the next meal. It's gonna be delicious, like it's there was talk of that just as a kind of a joke, but never when I thought I would have done this, I would be pursuing this because honestly, the way that the model was presented to me in Flyleaf, I just didn't think it was possible to be the kind of wife and mom I want to be. Even when I got married, I was already ready to walk away. And my husband was saying, before Memento Mori, and he said, I think we should keep going. I think that this is really a great thing that you're doing, and I want to keep going for it. And so I was like, okay, but it's on you, you know. I mean, I'm just doing it now because with Memento Mori, I only did that because my husband really believed in it, and I just believe in him. And that was really the roots of why I said yes to do that. And there was amazing stuff that came out of that. I loved doing that. The album was great. And because I was doing it for him more than anything, that pressure for having to do it for everybody else was lifted already. And so when we got pregnant, he said, he saw it on his own as a member of the band, sort of, because we were married. He saw that weight differently than the first time around if we're going to bring our kids into it. And so because of that, he was like, we need to take a year off and figure out what it means to be parents and if we want to keep doing it. And I just want to do what feels best for you this time around. You know, he's leaving it up to me, really.
Wow.
And I was like, and so the guys, when we tell the guys that, they were like, we can't take a year off, you know, financially it doesn't work. And then taking a year off and not even knowing if you're going to want to keep going after, that's just, we need to be working towards this, you know. And I was like, I wanted to be respectful of that. And I was like, well, if you want to get another singer and do that, then I want to bless that. I want you to know you have my blessing to do that. But because this is now a priority for me above my career, I have to choose it this way. And they weren't the happiest, you know, obviously, but they still wanted to respect my decision, and I wasn't the happiest, you know, that they were going to get a new singer. I mean, I wanted to go, we're not Flyleaf without you. You know what I mean? But they had already built up so much, you know, equity in the name, and this was their careers, you know. And so I respected their decision as well. And so that was hard. It was hard, but it was the right thing to do. And I could never have imagined that we would be able to go out and do it with our children on our own terms. But the way that we set things up, it feels like exactly what we're able to do.
That's awesome.
And we actually did do a little speaking gig where I went around and with my 2-month-old baby when I had my second and my 2-year-old. And we got on a tour bus and we went around and I shared about my story that I wrote about in my book about suicide, and I shared with some kids about that, and I spoke for about 20 minutes. I had a friend help me, took care of the babies while I was doing that. And you know what happened was I had more time with my kids then on the road than I did at home because I didn't have to fix any meals. There was catering, and I didn't have to clean any house, and I just got the whole day with them. And I was like, you know what? We can do this. If we set it up right and we do it on purpose and we're actually in charge of it and we're not going to get backlash for it because we're in charge of it, if we do a solo project, we can do it. And my husband was like, I agree. And so that's what we're doing.
Nice.
Cool.
So in other words, you were looking at it from a point of like, cool, I don't have to take care of the house for a little while.
Yeah. Yeah, you don't. I mean, just invite you up at home. You know, it's cool. It's cool. I like that. I mean, I can't. My brain will not sit still until my house is clean sometimes, and I'm just like, this makes me not as good of a mom sometimes as I'd like to be, or a wife. Like, can you just leave it alone? I don't know. But look at that pile of crap over there.
Oh, it's too funny. So are you guys going to be going out, I guess, planning a tour? Or?
Yeah, we're going out with OTEP at the end of the month, I think.
Nice.
At the end of the month. We're excited. OTEP did a new record with Howard Benson, so I think the music's going to be a little more radio-friendly than in the past. So that's cool. They asked us to come out with them. I thought that was amazing. They were pursuing us. I never met her. I just know they have a lot of metal street cred, and I'm like, oh, yeah. That's awesome. And of course, I think that if I hadn't died or been put in jail, or become a believer in faith and God and Jesus and all that rescued me from suicide, I think I would write music exactly like hers. I totally get it.
Great.
I totally get it.
Her new single came out last week, and I was like, wow, it's totally radio friendly. I'm like, this is going to put her over the top this year.
No, I didn't hear it yet. I'd like to hear it.
Yeah, it's really good. It's really good.
Cool.
Nice. Cool. Are you guys coming to the Philly area, do you know, or?
Oh, I would love to do that. I have really great friends there, and I love that city. I just love it. It feels so full of culture, and feels like it's a boiling pot. Like it's about to overflow with so much life. I think every time I go there, I just get this feeling like it's about to burst with creativity and underground art.
That's awesome.
I love it.
That's awesome. Cool. Well, two things before I let you go. One thing is the song Impossible, which I've been playing nonstop since it came out, which I love. The lyrics, there's a couple lines in it that I just feel are so true. And it's, every morning I see another miracle. I can't believe I'm living the impossible. I just love those lyrics in that song. So, great stuff there.
Thank you. Thank you. I love it. I love it. I love singing it. I love hearing the crowd sing it. We had a CD release party the other day, and it was just listening to them sing it with all their lungs. It was just amazing.
That's awesome. That is so awesome. And the last thing, if I can just get you to cut an ID for me before I let you go, this is Lacey Sturm, and you're listening to Totally Driven Radio.
Okay. This is Lacey Sturm, and you're listening to Totally Driven Radio.
Awesome. Lacey, thanks so much, and I hope you guys come to Philly so I can come out and see us.
Thanks, Bay. Is that what people call you, Bay?
Yeah, that's my nickname, Bay.
It's a cool name. I love it.
Thank you. Short for Basso.
Oh, cool. Sounds
cool.
So cool. Okay, well, maybe I'll see you around when you come to Philly.
I hope so.
For our show. All right, cool.
Absolutely.
Thanks, bye.
Thanks, Lacey. Take care. Bye.
You too, bye.